I go round, I go round and I go round and I go round.
Hello. So today we're gonna be starting a new little reading vlog. But first, hi, it's Mila. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I make everything from college, lifestyle, and bookish type content. Obviously, not that much college right now because we're in summer, but all that fun stuff. So if that seems like something that's interesting to you, subscribe button, thumbs up. But yeah, so basically what we're gonna be doing today is that I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I was like, I want to have like a reading vlog every single month, and I need like ideas to make it different or whatever. So I said, why not do a reading vlog of like anticipated 5-star reads, to like, because that makes it more interesting than like typical reading vlogs. So that's what we're going to be starting today. We're currently Sunday night. I'm going to be doing this like over the course of the week. I'm going to be reading a tiny bit like now, but it's also like it's 1:11 a.m. Make a wish. Okay, I made my wish. I had to pause to like make my wish. But yeah, so anticipated 5-star reads, because it spices things up, and it's like, I know that I'm not gonna get disappointed like halfway through the video, but also a lot of pressure. But I was like, you know, it's gonna be fun, because I feel like it's like, I've kind of seen this type of vibe on YouTube, but it's like my own twist to the video. I feel like, because it's always like, oh, this video stops when I get a 5-star read, but it's like, no, this is like a reading vlog of like anticipated 5-star reads. So my weekly reads, which is supposed to be 5 stars, I feel like I just said the same thing about 10 times, so I'm so sorry for being repetitive. But I'll show you the books that we have for today. First, there's Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I read, oh my god, Icebreaker. I don't know why I completely bugged Icebreaker. I loved it. 5-star read. Stassi and Nate, love them. I actually ended up getting this book early. Like, this book got to my house before it was released, and I still haven't read it. And this got released like October 3rd last year. So I was like, it's about time you read it. So my first anticipated 5-star read, I think I'm gonna start with this one, because it's like summer vibes. I just finished school, so it's like the vibes you want to get into. I also have Twisted Hate. I will be very surprised if this is not a 5-star read, given how much I loved Twisted Games. Like, Twisted Love was good. Twisted Games, they have my heart. They have my whole entire heart. And everyone says that this series like just gets better. So very highly anticipated 5-star read. Anna Huang, honestly love her. And I feel like, you know, it's also about time that I finished the Twisted series to move on to other things that she wrote. So definitely good vibes for this one. I really like Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love her writing style, stuff like that. So I also feel like Malibu Rising might be a 5-star. I know this is like not an old book, but it's like, you know, everyone has read it at this point. And I'm like, you know, it's about time I read it also. But yeah, I feel like this could be a 5-star, because I know like, well, based off of like the books I read Daisy Jones, Evelyn Hugo, and When True Loves. And I really liked Daisy Jones and Daisy Jones and Evelyn Hugo like so much more than When True Loves. I think those are rated 4.5 to 5 stars. When True Loves, it was like 3.5. So I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid, I like when she does like non-romancy type things. So I feel like this could be a potential 5-star read. And the last book I want to read in this video is, because I've had this on my TBR for so long. I love anything like Greek mythology, Roman mythology. So I'm like, A Touch of Darkness, I feel like possible 5-star read. So those are the 4 books I'm planning to read this week. Obviously Sunday night, so the week like hasn't really started, but like it's my video, so whatever. I said before, we're gonna start with Wildfire, because it just gives me like more summer vibes. Do I go to bed or do I? No, I feel like I'm gonna start reading a little bit, so go to bed, and I'll update you guys tomorrow. Okay guys, so good morning. First of all, I got to page like 120 of Wildfire, and okay, like I love the vibes, love it. It's not giving me that instant like oh my god feeling that Icebreaker gave me. So I don't know if it's just like a different setting, because like I love like hockey romances, and this isn't like focused on hockey. That is taking me more to feel that spark, but definitely good vibes. Love all the characters, love the setting, honestly. Like love like I weirdly love like the summer camp counselor setting. I think I read like 2 other books with that setting, and one of them was like one of my favorite books of all time. So definitely feel like this could go places. But yeah, I don't say it didn't get that initial like spark that I expected to get, but that, you know, that doesn't mean anything. You have Russ and Aurora, and they meet at a like end of semester party. They hook up, and then they're like, it's like a miscommunication thing where they're like, okay, like the other person does not want to see me, and then turns out they both work at the summer camp together. And I am currently at the part where like they got to the summer camp. It's like the first few nights, like they're getting to know each other and everything, and they're kind of like rekindling. I don't want to say rekindling because it wasn't like a big issue, but they're like, you know, like slowly talking about what happened that night and like, oh, miscommunication and everything like that. But yeah, good vibes. And also Hannah Grace's writing style, super easy, like flows super like does that make sense? Like it flows, it's easy to read and everything like that. Yeah, so definitely good vibes for that. So yeah, those are the vibes for Wildfire. I actually have like a lot to do today, so I don't know realistically how much I can read, but we'll see. Like I think I can probably get to 250, because how many pages? I feel like very realistically I can get to 250, and then I could finish this book tomorrow. We will see. So I basically just like sat down and started reading like Wildfire for the past like I don't know how long. I have basically like 80 pages left, and it's so good. Like it's very different vibes from Icebreaker, like different setting but same type of energy, I guess, if that makes sense. Like this really reminded me of Say You Swear I Want to Say by Kay Tucker. In that book, I absolutely loved it. And again, this is like the exact same camp vibes. Like I definitely want to read more like camp type vibe romances, because it's something that I love. Like I absolutely love it. But yeah, so like love honestly every single character, love the plot, never once felt bored. Like the story, it never drags long, it's paced perfectly, it's so cute, it's just everything is so good. But I'm also not feeling 5-star energy. Like I feel like for a 5-star book, it's like it instantly grasps you, right? And I just, again, this is really good, and I'm feeling like 4 stars, but I'm not feeling that 5-star energy. So it's not a bad thing, because it's still highly rated, but it's not a 5 star, so I'm kind of disappointed. But I don't know, like we got to the part where like I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but we know that I was about to say Stassi. We know that Aurora has these like issues with her dad, and we got to parts where that kind of like comes up. So I don't know what's gonna happen like later on, but yeah, for right now we're feeling very strong 4-star energy. I feel like I'm definitely gonna update you guys when I'm done this before I hop on to the next book. I'm honestly feeling a touch of darkness next. Like I'm just feeling the Greek mythology. So I'm probably gonna update you guys tomorrow when I'm done this, and we're gonna hop right into Touch of Darkness, or I might like start a Touch of Darkness then like hop on and just like talk about both books. We do not know, but my final predictions for this, I want to say 4.25, 4.5 star. Still amazing, but sadly, I don't think this would be able to make it to 5 star. I just finished Wildfire and it's so good. Like, again, as I said it before the last 2 times that I updated you guys, not feeling 5-star, but I think I'm gonna rate this a 4.25. I don't want to say too much, but on Russ's side, things really like fell into place. On Aurora's side, it's like learning to cope with things and stuff like that, and honestly perfect. And also the epilogue, their daughter's called Mila, so we love that. But yeah, Wildfire, I'm rating it 4.25. So not quite a 5-star, but on top, like above a 4-star. And I also started reading A Touch of Darkness. So my thing with this book is that it's written in the 3rd person, which kind of threw me off at first because I feel like I haven't read something in the 3rd person in so long. So I was kind of like, I don't know how to feel about that. But I just like sat down and like flew through, how many pages is this? Like almost 100 pages. One like super well paced, because I feel like I never felt bored. Like it never dragged or stuff like that. And I feel like sometimes at the beginning of books it kind of like drags and you're like, okay, when are we gonna get into it? But not that here. And basically it's not like ancient Greece, but it's more like modern version. So sorry about the interruption, my camera cut out. But Hades, he like, okay, the gods in this are more like they're still gods, but they're also like CEOs, business owners, things like that. So Hades, he's the owner of this like club, and Persephone's friend brings her there, and that's where they meet. And basically, so Persephone is a goddess, but she kind of has this like glamour thing that's like hiding what makes her a goddess, because her mom wanted to like hide her away from everyone and stuff like that. Like everyone knew that Demeter had a daughter, but they didn't know that it was Persephone. So there's all that, and then she ends up meeting Hades, and she's like, okay, people always like make deals with him, like I'm not like that dumb, like I'm not gonna do it. But she accidentally gets into a little deal with him because she doesn't like realize, oh shit, like that is Hades. Like she ended up losing a bet, like the bet deal, whatever. And now to kind of like get out of it, and it's not like owe her soul to Hades, his condition was like she needs to create life in the underworld. So it got to the part where she's going back to the club, and then he's gonna like show her the underworld. I have very high hopes for this. Like I feel like, oh my god, I gotta sneeze. I feel like this is a potential 5-star read, so I'm super excited. Like it really depends how we go about what happens next, but I'm definitely feeling 5-star from this. Okay, I'm gonna say goodbye for now. I'm gonna like figure out what's going on in my nose, and then we'll reconvene when I can actually breathe. We have just finished A Touch of Darkness, and oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Like I was so scared going in because I was like, I feel like I'd like this, but then also it can very easily like go wrong, you know? It was so good. It doesn't, like, it pisses me off because it doesn't feel like a 5-star. Like I loved absolutely everything about it. The romance, I was all for it. The plot, the problems, like I was like genuinely interested. I wanted to know what was going on. I feel like what kind of put me off from giving it a 5-star is the fact that it's 3rd person. It's not like 3rd person when you only see Persephone, like you kind of see into Hades, but it's like, it's just the 3rd person is like not doing it for me, and it bothers me because I genuinely feel like if it was not 3rd person, this would actually be 5-star, because it's just so good. Like if you're into Greek mythology, yeah, I was like, wait, is that the proper word? Yes, like ancient Greek things. Read this. It's so good. But just because it is the 3rd person, I'm gonna give this 4.5 stars. Like it makes me so mad because I genuinely loved it so much. But it was like, it was harder connecting to Persephone just because of that. And it makes me so mad because I really thought this would be 5 stars. But anyways, 4.5 stars, not exactly there. Can our next book make it to 5 stars. We'll see. I do not have it on my book card, but I decided to read Malibu Rising because I feel like, you know, we read like 2 romance books. I kind of want a little like break before getting back into Twisted Hate, which is the last romance book. I am scared because I know that Malibu Rising kind of like revolves around the family, not one person, and I don't know if it's going to be done in a way like in Daisy Jones when I loved it. I don't know, like I'm scared because I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid, I have really high expectations because Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones was done so well, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna go put on my PJs and then we're gonna start reading Malibu Rising. Okay, so I read basically the first half of Malibu Rising, so the whole like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and I don't know how I feel about it because I thought it would be somewhat like Evelyn Hugo, like you would get a sort of attachment to the character, but I'm not really feeling that with any of the Riva kids, like because you kind of see like everyone's perspective. So there's Nina, there's Jay, Hud, and then Kit, and and you also see kind of like a past timeline, so how the parents meet and their story and everything like that. But I don't know, like I'm not feeling it. It's like I'm not bored, but I'm not feeling it. Like there's nothing that really sucked me in. Like honestly, I tried reading but I couldn't, so I just audiobooked it because it's just like I don't know, like it's not bad. Like it's not bad, but I feel like my expectations were kind of high and I was kind of disappointed. I want to finish it obviously to know like what happens, but you know, it's just, I don't know, like it's like, it's not gonna be a 5-star. I'm predicting anywhere between a 3 and a 4-star. Now it's a 3-star, but I feel like depending on, because I'm assuming that the first half was like, okay, everything leading up to the party, and then the second half, which is 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. is like the party, and then Malibu catching fire and burning, like what was hinted at the beginning of the book. That's how I'm assuming the second part is gonna go. But I just, yeah, I don't know, like, I don't know, like, I am actually really disappointed. But there's still time, so we'll see what happens. So last night I finished Malibu Rising. I didn't really feel like giving you guys updates, but the second half of the book, like 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., I like that better because I felt like more, it was less like in the past, or if it was in the past, it was more like, I found it more entertaining. So I liked the second part a bit more. Like it also was just like so chaotic because it was like a big party. But I feel like I didn't like it enough to boost it over 4-star. I don't know, like I feel like this is something that I would bring if I'm going to the pool or to the beach because yeah, there's a storyline, there's a plot, but I don't have to be like, I don't want to say invested, but like I feel like you guys can get what I mean. You don't have to be like super invested in the story because it's just like a timeline, not like a story, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm gonna rate it 3.5 stars. Like it's really not bad. I just feel like I had such high expectations given that I loved The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones. But this one, not a huge fan, but like definitely again, if you go to the pool or to the beach, like I would read this there. Then I started the 4th and final book of this video, Twisted Hate. Is the glare, I'm like right in front of my like living room window, so I hope that lighting wise it's okay. I started Twisted Hate, the 3rd book of the Twisted series. I'm at page 105 and it's so good. Like it didn't like hook me as fast as Twisted Love and Twisted Games, but I feel like I didn't feel like the beginning was like slow. I got like right into it because like I knew these characters and everything, and like it ended off at the same scene that's Twisted Games, and it started off at the same scene that Twisted Games ended with, whereas from Twisted Love to Twisted Games you kind of had to catch up on the timeline, which I remember that part I wasn't like a huge fan of. But so far this book, super good vibes. It's not giving me the same thing that Twisted Games gave me, but I feel like again, I'm still at like page 100. It's basically like exactly 500 pages. There's still time. Like we got to the parts where they're in Vermont on the ski trip. So I feel like from here, you're really gonna start seeing like Josh and Jules, like how they get together, stuff like that. So I'm super excited. And I'm honestly debating whether I prolong this video to read another book, because I feel like it's kind of sad that I did not get a 5-star read, but then I also really need to start reading for another reading vlog that's going to be coming out in July. I'm not gonna say which one it is, but it's a big chunky series. If you have not watched my summer TBR, definitely go watch it, because like I'm gonna talk about it there. So on one hand, I feel like I do want to get a 5-star in this video, but I also need to read other things. But I feel like this has the most potential to be a 5-star. We'll see. I feel like you guys can probably guess which like video I filmed before filming this little like catch-up part. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I kind of went through a tough time when I was reading Twisted Hate. Like it's honestly kind of been a week. Like basically a week, because I was like super busy, and then some shit happened, and like I still read, but I could not read this book. Like I just read thrillers because that was the only thing I could like stomach for those couple of days. Yeah, like I don't want to give too much away, but it was just like a tough time. Like I could not read romance. This book in particular, because of a certain character. Yeah, just like not a fun couple of days. But like every time I picked this book up, I like honestly, I did not feel like filming for the past 5 days. Because I felt like it was like a struggle to turn on the camera, and it was like if I talk to the camera, like I want to be me. I don't want to try to like force myself to like have a personality or like be happy, you know? But I'm feeling so much better. So I know like the footage of me reading Twisted Hate, there's not gonna be much, and I feel like having that experience while I was reading like Twisted Hate kind of like dampened, like lowered my rating of it. Like it was still a really good book. I feel like Josh was, like out of all the guys, Josh was my least favorite guy, so I wasn't expecting this to be as good as like Twisted Games or Twisted Love, but it was still super good. I'm rating this 4 stars. I feel like if emotionally I was in like a better place, I would have rated this, like I would not have rated this over 4.5 stars. Like I love the story, I love Jules, and I like Josh, but it's like he's not Alex, he's not Reese. Like we've barely seen Christian, and I like Christian better than Josh. So I feel like it's just a Josh thing. But if it was Twisted Lies probably would have been a 5-star. But I feel like it's just because Josh is my least favorite guy, and I went through what I went through. This is a 4-star read. But I'm actually so sad because I finished this video, but there's no 5-star read. That's disappointing. I feel like I want to do these videos more, or they're like reading until I find a 5-star read. But it's like I feel like I put too much pressure on myself. But then if I just like read books during a month and I'm like, oh my god, this is such a good book, it's a 5-star read. It's not, I don't know, like I don't know if I'm putting pressure on myself doing this, but I am so sad we did not find a 5-star read. Like I'm kind of disappointed. I filmed another video before filming this, and the books that I read for this video are like in a pile here. I don't remember my rating at this point because honestly so much time has passed, but I think my favorite was A Touch of Darkness. I did not know what to expect going in, but that was my favorite book. I loved A Touch of Darkness. Like, I actually went to buy like the 4th book, and I want to finish the series this summer because it was so good. I think my favorite, like, honestly, like, ratings aside, because this happened like 2 weeks ago at this point, so I feel like my initial rating, like, that's what I'm gonna rate the book. But in terms of like what marks me the most, what's like, in terms of like preference, I feel like best book, A Touch of Darkness, I would take it, but it's under a huge pile of books and I don't want to like do all that. But like, best book of the video, A Touch of Darkness, then Wildfire, then Twisted Hate, and then Malibu Rising. But yeah, that marks the end to this video. I was so ready to have this be a 1 week thing. I'd just be cohesive and stuff like that. But nope, life has to be like, obviously we're not gonna do that. But yeah, that's gonna mark the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I want to apologize again for not having like a lot of content for Twisted Hate, because it was just like, it was not a good it was not a good time. But honestly, like, my other reading vlogs, like, I'm like starting to film one like really soon. I'm currently filming another one. Like, we have a lot of reading vlogs going on, so emotional things are gonna be coming in the way. But I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up. Leave a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you're like, you know every single video that I post. All my socials are linked down below, so my TikTok, my Instagram, my Goodreads. I'm currently 14 books behind my Goodreads challenge, so if you want to see if I actually make it to my goal of 100, you should definitely subscribe, because I just filmed my June TBR. I'm currently gonna be filming like maybe in the next few days my May wrap up. So you're gonna see what I'm reading and how I'm planning to get there, and if I get there, which I'm pretty sure I can get there. I have faith in myself. But yeah, so once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay safe, protect your vibe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!